There hasn't been a back-to-back MVP of the QHS Thanksgiving Tournament since the 1998 and 99 seasons. But with the hype surrounding Blue Devil big man D'Angelo Dean this year, he's poised to break that trend while also giving Quincy its 8th title out of the past 10 years. And it's just not Thanksgiving night unless you get to see the Blue Devil and Quincy High basketball tip off its season tonight, taking on Normandy. And new point guard Cole Abbey gets the first points of the season with the very strong take and bucket. Very next possession, it's more of Mr. Abbey. 2 of his 10 points on the night as he lays it in. Very promising young star for Quincy High. Then D'Angelo Dean gets down on defense. Check out the big swat in transition and take another look at this one. And he can't help but smile after that. The long wingspan certainly helps, doesn't it? The Devils get it done on offense too. Martin Kavitli hits Dean in the post. That is up and in for 2. Normandy keeps it close in the early going of this game. Damon Johnson splashes through the high arching 3, but just no keeping up with QHS in the long run as Mike Davis collects the Dean miss, and he puts in 2 points of his own. And the bank is open for D'Angelo Dean one more time, working wonders in the post as he'll hope to do all season for QHS. Lincoln Elby later on hits Martin Kavitli, and he drains the 3. Kavitli with 12 points on the evening. Kavitli also picks up 3 the old-fashioned way right here with the bucket and the foul. Great variety, a lot of weapons on this team. Mason Fairley with 17 points, D'Angelo Dean with 18, Abbey with 10, Kavitli with 12. Quincy High goes on to roll by a final score of 77-42. Check out the finish to game 1 of this. Algonquin Jacobs is up on Poplar Bluff in overtime by 2, and then you see Algonquin Jacobs miss this free throw. Michael Griggs of Poplar Bluff dashes down court with 9 seconds left. Lance Gray tosses up the triple and drops it in just before the buzzer for the win. Poplar Bluff with an outstanding victory. This their 2nd year in the Thanksgiving tournament. The Mules go on to win by a final score in overtime of 50-49. Basketball is probably far from the mind over in Shelby, as the South Shelby football squad will have one last walkthrough tomorrow in preparation for the Missouri Class 1 state title game. The Cardinals have rolled through the first 4 rounds of the postseason with a mostly steady ground attack, but the occasional use of the home run threat has added the perfect balance to their offense. This postseason, the Cardinals have been thankful for Austin Hall. But it's not just the 7 touchdowns in 4 games that have made the difference. It's the way in which he's attacked the field.
They just assume that it's going right up the middle, and as soon as they start assuming, then we kick it to the outside, and I got enough speed so I can get around the edges and get to the end zone.
He provides a big spark for our offense. He changes the game for us usually. He'll bust off a big run or score a touchdown for us that'll change the game around and changes the momentum to our favor, and we just, after that, we don't really look back and keep going off that momentum.
For 4 straight games, the Cardinals have stretched the gridiron to full effect thanks to a thunder and lightning combination.
You know, Austin Hall's our change of pace guy. You throw Sean Beautran at him about 30 times a game, and he's just going to hammer you. He's not very big, but he's going to do his job. But then you throw Austin Hall in there, and he's that big play type of kid, and boy, he's done it throughout the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, they just key on Sean, and that makes him want to play even harder, and then that helps me out a little bit since I don't got such a big body, but I get around the corners and try to get to the sidelines and get as many yards as I can.
While being the long field threat has worked to the effect of him getting 4 touchdowns on Saturday, it's all about trying to bring home that coveted trophy for the team.
You know, everything's for the team, so it really didn't matter who scored at that point. You know, I was glad to be scoring, but, you know, Sean got a bunch of yards, I got a bunch of touchdowns, so we both contributed.